Good evening, folks. Reloading Bench back with you again on my quite messy bench. I need to do some cleanup. Too many things going on at once, or at least going on, maybe not at once, and trying to recover from each. And I've been waiting on this package. This is a package from Reloading Heaven, thanks to our friends at Inline Fabrication. So I'll do an unboxing, but that's really not the focus. But I thought, what the heck, because this is the biggest item I've ever ordered from Dan & Company, and it's not something that they normally stock. So when I started heading down this path, one of the first things I did was to reach out to Dan & Company to say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Do you support this? Meaning, do you already make something for this, or would it have to be would I have to go down the custom path, or would it have to be something special? So it was kind of a little bit of both, in the sense that he doesn't stock this, but he has the template for it. So I'm trying to prolong the suspense as much as possible. Probably pissing somebody off. I'm sure somebody will give me a dislike. There's always one out there. Actually, there's more than one. Somebody unhappy with the joy I bring to the world, or to this small reloading community. Same difference. And if this is the typical nobody packs like Dan's shop, they do it right. Alright, so let me pull out the paperwork and the ever popular stickerage. Okay, as usual, nicely packed. And maybe by that sound, you guys can guess what this is. And I'm not sure he included hardware. Facebook thingy. I think there was a couple of cards that they always throw in. Facebook and the business card. It might help if I put them in the frame. Okay, so there is hardware. But it looks like for the first time in my dealings with Dan & Company, the hardware has escaped. Normally it's in, normally it's in a little wrap thing, but it was not in a baggie. So it looks like here's a couple of the errant pieces, which I will throw some blue. Some of you fans might recognize that particular blue. And we'll open this up, because this should give you an idea of what's next on the agenda. Alright, so it looks like all the pieces are here, which is comforting. And I would expect no less from... So it was in a bag, but the side of the bag split a little bit. So typical inline standards, nice packing with the bag. I think that's probably the first mishap I've ever had with any of Dan's stuff. And a whole lot of packing. Trying to keep things a little neat, because the free space in the garage is kind of like my savings account. It's shrinking, dwindling. Alright, so this looks like a robotic bubulation. Sorry to offend anybody there. Actually, not really. My channel, my whatever. Especially since I'm not monetized, so I don't really give a hoot nanny if I get booted. Because the only person I do this for technically is me. Alright. There's never a shortage of paper and tape. The man must have stock in some company that produces all this cellophane tape and this packing. So the short version is, this is a BMF. This is a big mofo. And the unveiling is now. That is by far, without question, absolutely no doubt, the biggest top plate I have ever ordered from Dan & Company. This top plate, standard top plate, if I were to turn the camera around, the flush mount is 8 by 8. So 8 by 8 square. So this should be 8. So there's the 8 for the top plate, or the flush plate. 8 by 15. So this is like a trailer. It's a double wide. So think of it as a double wide. And just for comparisons, I'm going to get you a better shot against a less contrasting background. That is one big plate, one big top plate. It's also, I don't know if it's any thicker than any other top plate, but this is a big boy, a big boy. And just as comparison, I'm going to bust out my my 366 press and show you the measurements of that plate. Be right back. All right, so here's the 366. And as a comparison, that 366 plate is at a little bit of an angle, so I'm going to take the deepest point. So at the most shallow point, it's a 5-inch plate. At the deepest point, it's 5.5 inches. So 5.5 inches by 10. So a 5 by 10. Another double wide. This plate is a whole lot bigger. Again, 5 by 10, 8 by 15. Much, much bigger plate. And for those of you who have a keen eye, you may notice something in the frame that I have yet to reveal, that I've been working on for a few weeks. That is, it's there, but I'm not going to talk about it. Reloading bench, back with you once again. I have no idea if this is going to be split across videos or stitched into one video at this point. A little evening tea. So I thought I would show you the mobile stand with the 366 mounted off to the side of the bench, which actually is pretty decent. I'm rather impressed with its mobility, considering that it's not that heavy of a press. I mean, it's tall, and then hopefully you'll notice that there is no play. It's got a great center of gravity. It's got a decent height. I've lost, or rather the difference in height is about 7, yeah, maybe 6, 7 inches between being on the mobile stand and being on the flush mount. But this would work too, so that would not be a problem. So that might be a keeper there. And then I would just put the bin somewhere in the back of here to catch my hulls. But that would be too simple. So back to this project at hand. So this Platus Giganticus, which again, 5x10 for the 366, 8x15 for this BMF. Big metal plate. BMP is probably a better. So this is the inaugurating placement. And since the camera's in the way, I can't really see what I'm doing. So let me. Okay, that's in. That plate is huge. In fact, I don't even know where. I want to say I need to loosen that top screw. Maybe this plate is bigger. I'm not sure which hex it is, because I usually get it wrong. Alright, let me mount. That is a big plate. Big plate. And let me go do the same thing on the other side. Normally, I cannot mount something directly on the plate when it's on the flush mount system, because these holes are generally not available. But considering, oh yeah, that's on there. Considering the size, I don't know why I do that, but I do. Maybe some suppressed childhood memory. Who knows? But again, this is huge. 15 by 8. So again, the other one was 5 by 10. So roughly, I would say there's 50% more metal here. And I bet you're all wondering what this is for. So this is where I break off and figure out yes or no on this video. Because if it's not this video, it'll be the next video. So we'll see.